Good morning, friends, and welcome to a thought for the week on this very wet Thursday. I've just had a coffee with a friend. Well, actually, it wasn't a coffee, it was a herbal tea. But I have had a drink with a friend outside their house this morning, and the reason why I am not wet is because we had a shelter, and it was a gazebo, a small gazebo that my friend had put up just outside the front of their home so that we could sit under it with two chairs and we could have a drink together and we could stay dry even when the rain was falling down. And occasionally there would be a small deluge of water that would come down from the side because the water had built up on the top and it fell down. But we remained dry underneath our shelter. And when I went to visit my grandmother recently, the same thing. We took a gazebo with us and we put it up in her garden so that if it rained, we could stay dry underneath it. And I guess that this is something which we've become a lot more familiar with over the past year, certainly over the past couple of months, where we've been seeing people but outside but in weather that's not great. And so you may have been familiar, you may have even spent some time under those sort of shelters as well. And you know what, it got me thinking about two particular psalms. One which I've spoken about recently, Psalm 46, sorry. The Lord is our refuge and strength, a very present help in times of trouble. But then also Psalm 91, that says, the one who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. And actually, there are many passages in Scripture that talk about how God shelters us under his wings like a mother hen shelters her young. In him we can find refuge and shelter, that when the rains of life come, and maybe they're coming for you like a bit of a drizzle, maybe it feels like a bit of a deluge at the moment, that if you rest in the shelter of the Most High and you abide in the refuge of the Almighty, if you can say, God is my refuge and my strength, my very present help in times of trouble, then you can remain sheltered and dry even in the fiercest of storms. You know, my friend and I, we couldn't control the rain. We couldn't change the fact that it was raining, but we could choose to shelter from the rain. And it may be the same in your life as well. Maybe you can't change the fact that the rain is coming down. You can't change the things that are happening in your life at the moment. But you can choose to shelter, and you can choose where you shelter. And what I'm saying to you this morning is that there is no better place to shelter than in the shelter of the Most High. There is no greater refuge than in the refuge of the Almighty. That we can choose to make our safe place his presence and his love. We can choose to allow his faithfulness to cover us, that those things might not drench us to the bone, and we can remain safe in his presence. And so today, whatever life is like for you, maybe it's not raining and you can simply enjoy the presence of the sun of God shining upon you. Maybe the rain is coming. Maybe the rain is here. Maybe it feels like it's blowing a gale and the rain is lashing down. Make the Most High your shelter. Say to God, Lord, in the storm of my life, with the rain of whatever it is, worry or anxiety or whatever coming down, I'm choosing to shelter under you and your promises and your faithfulness and your love and your grace and compassion and your mercy for me as your child. so that I might remain safe. And to remind yourself of what God says in his word, to remind yourself of who you are in him, that no amount of rain can change, no circumstance can change. There is nothing, as we are going to hear on Sunday morning, there is nothing that can separate us from the love of God. Shall hard times? No. Can the rain that falls in our lives? No. Nothing can separate us from God's love. And may that promise and the presence of God in your life today be that shelter for you to keep you safe and dry. I look forward to speaking to you again soon. God bless.